Welcome everyone. Muscles are a very important structure when we consider the anatomy of any region because they are responsible for providing both dynamic stability as well as movement to any joint or region. And that's the same when we talk about the anatomy of the knee region and the knee joint. So there are two aspects, the anterior aspect and the posterior aspect if we talk about the muscles. So right now we're going to talk about the muscles on the anterior aspect of the knee region, in which we have the quadriceps group of muscles or the quadriceps femoris. So if we talk about the quadriceps femoris, there are actually four different muscles that constitute this group, and they are located on the anterior aspect of the knee. So we have the rectus femoris, the vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, and vastus intermedius. One important thing to remember is that rectus femoris is a two joint muscle, whereas the remaining three are only one joint muscles, which means they're only acting at the knee joint. So if we specifically talk about it, so rectus femoris acts both on the hip as well as the knee joint, whereas vastus lateralis, medialis, and intermedius only act as knee extensors. And rectus femoris acts as a knee extensor as well, but it also acts as a hip flexor. So here in this figure, we can actually visualize all of the components of the quadriceps group of muscles, and it is very easy to understand. So the one which is the most superficial and in the center here is the rectus femoris. On the lateral side of the rectus femoris is the vastus lateralis, and on the medial side of the rectus femoris is the vastus medialis, and beneath the rectus femoris is the vastus intermedius, and you can see clearly in this picture. So this is the rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, and beneath the rectus femoris would be vastus intermedius. And as I already mentioned regarding the function of these muscles, they are all knee extensors except for the rectus femoris, which also acts as a hip flexor. So talking about the knee extensors, first of all, the rectus femoris, one thing is for sure that all of these muscles have a common insertion point, which is on the tibial tuberosity via the patellar tendon. So we can repeat this for all of these muscles because all of them have the same distal attachment site or insertion. But talking about the proximal aspect for the rectus femoris muscle is via the anterior iliac spine, which is located just beneath the anterior superior iliac spine, which is easily palpable on the anterior aspect of your pelvic bone, just where the pelvic or you can say the iliac crest terminates anteriorly. So this is a multi-joint muscle, two joint muscle, so it involves both knee extension and hip flexion, and it is supplied by the femoral nerve, and nerve supply is L2, L3, and L4. The second muscle is the vastus lateralis, which is located on the lateral aspect of the rectus femoris, and it once again attaches on the tibial tuberosity via the patellar tendon, but the origin site is slightly below the you can say the rectus femoris, because rectus femoris actually originates from the pelvis, but this muscle, and just like vastus lateralis, the vastus medialis, intermedius, they all originate below the pelvis from the femur itself. So the vastus lateralis, it originates from the linea aspera, and it inserts in the common insertion, which is the tibial tuberosity via the patellar tendon. And once again, the function is knee extension only, and the nerve supply stays the same, which is the femoral nerve L2, L3, and L4. Moving on, we have the vastus medialis muscle, which is located to the medial aspect of the rectus femoris, and the origin is linea aspera, and it inserts into the tibial tuberosity via the patellar tendon, and the function is once again knee extension, and the nerve supply is by the femoral nerve, once again L2, L3, and L4 nerve roots. Now talking about the vastus intermedialis muscle, it is the fourth muscle, and it wasn't available in the view in which we saw all these muscles. Let's take a look back at that diagram previously here. So here we can see the rectus femoris, we can see the vastus lateralis, and we can see the vastus medialis, but we cannot visualize the vastus intermedius because it is located beneath the rectus femoris. So coming back to the vastus intermedius, you can see this is the rectus femoris, but once we remove the rectus femoris, we can visualize the vastus intermedialis, which is located just beneath the rectus femoris. And just like the vastus lateralis and the vastus medialis, it is a single joint muscle and it is only involved in the knee extension and no action at the hip joint. Moreover, its attachment or the proximal attachment and origin is from the anterior aspect of the femur, and it inserts into their common insertion, which is the tibial tuberosity via patellar tendon, which serves as the insertion or the distal attachment site for the vastus intermedialis, like all other muscles of the quadriceps group. And function is once again knee extension only, and the nerve supply stays the same, which is why the femoral nerve through the L2, L3 and L4 spinal nerve roots. So here is the summary. As we saw that all the muscles have the same action except for the rectus femoris, which is also working additionally as a hip flexor. All have the same nerve supply, which is why the femoral nerve enters the same spinal segments, which is L2, L3 and L4. Another common thing is the common insertion point, which is why the patellar tendon into the tibial tuberosity. And that's all about the anterior aspect of the knee region, in which we're talking about the anterior muscles, also known as the hip extensors, in which they were the common extensors of the knee joint, including the rectus femoris, which is a multi-joint muscle, and the other three were the single joint muscle, including the vastus lateralis, intermedius and medialis. And I hope you learned something new out of it, and keep on watching sqadia.com for more lectures on this series, as well as similar lectures on the website, so that it would be more beneficial for you to look into the other aspects of the knee and other topics. So that's all about this lecture. I hope you learned something new out of it. Thank you very much.